Hey Aries, how you doing? I am here to do your reading for the week of March 16th. Now, the big news this week in the sky is obviously the ingress of the sun into Aries on the 20th. And literally moments after the sun goes into Aries, there's a full moon at 0 degrees. Libra. Now, the interesting thing about the lunations this month is that there's three. There's one at 0 degrees, there's one at 15 degrees, and then there's one at 30 degrees. So expect a close, like straight off as soon as you move into your next chapter. Can I have one card for the week of March 16th, please? As soon as you move into this new chapter, there's already something done, like immediately. And you may not get complete and total information about it. It may just be an energetic shift at that point. And you'll get news as Mercury moves through Pisces and starts to move direct. You'll get some news about it as at the different moons. So at the first, the new moon at the 15 degrees, and then the full moon again in April at 30 degrees. Now, since they're in your 7th house in Libra, I expect these lunations to bring messages and culminations about partnerships. It's too many. One card for March 16th, please, for Aries. So yes, if you have romantic situations going on, if you have business partnerships, if you're looking for business partnerships, I expect that you're going to see a lot of movement over the course of the next month. Now, also this week, Mercury is conjunct Neptune all week, so that pay attention to your psychic impulses or your intuitions. That is also sextiling Saturn, which is coming up to Pluto. So because of that sextile to Saturn, those dreams, wishes, daydreams that you're having, things that would normally be like halcyon dreams, are actually doable because Saturn's helping out and Pluto's there, helping you transform. And also this week, Mars is going to trine Pluto. So anything that you're doing, whatever actions you're taking, whatever desires you have, are all related to your personal transformation or the transformation that's going on for you in your 10th solar house. So how the world perceives you. I'm going to have 2 more cards, please, for Aries for March 16th. Now, Venus squares Mars. Venus is in Aquarius. She squares Mars this week. So you may have some crazy ideas or crazy women that come in with messages that can seem disruptive and can seem to be bothering this transformation flow that's happening, but they're not. It's just asking you to take a second look. Bam, right there in the middle. Love it. It's asking you to take, okay, and there's the full moon. It's asking you to take a second look. How can you integrate that? So instead of being at odds, instead of whatever this idea is or this person is or this friend is or this collective is or this group is, they may seem at odds with your slow building path right now, but really the question is how can you integrate that knowledge and that helpfulness into your transformation? So those are the planets. Let me just take a minute to spend some time with this and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's start with the wisdom card. The wisdom card is pretty self-explanatory. You have a younger woman here who's asking for advice from someone older, who asks, who suggests that she consider what the effects of her actions will be on the future. And actually, this is quite interesting if we think about in Europe here, there was a big protests yesterday from the students talking about climate change. And you see here the earth and the growing bushes. So there's an interesting theme on a macro level about wisdom, knowing when to listen, thinking about how your actions can unfold in the future. What are the consequences to yourself and to others on the things that you do? Now, all of these cards here talk about interdependence, and I'll get to that in a minute, as do the lunations. But this one starts with ask for wisdom or ask for sage advice and listen to it, be open to it, and to reason not on impulse, but with reasoning. So not just to act, but to actually think about how your actions can impact the greater good. And that's that Mars-Venus square right now. So what are you doing, and is it in contrast to what's beneficial and what can be born in the greater good? Now, this card is a leg up, and this says that, you need to ask for help if you need it. And when you do ask, you will find the help you need. There's the story of, when the student is ready, the master appears. And I just want to read a sentence from the actual book itself, because it says here, the perfect people will arrive at the perfect time, so long as you step forward with just a mustard seed of faith. Okay, it talks about footsteps, which is quite funny because this card here is called Footsteps. And if you look at it, it's kind of like a womb, and there's two baby feet in there. And that the children aspect is replicated here with the mama bear and the baby bear. And then also you have a small growth here and a larger growth. So some of you may be having babies this week. Some of you may be finding out that you are going to be having babies this week. Some of you may be finding out about a project you've been trying to birth or something new coming into life, right? So you are about to start. You are taking the initial footsteps into a gestation period. So expect developments over the next 9 months, over the next few months, about how something small is going to turn into something big, and how it can benefit not just yourself, but your community at large. Now, going into the tarot, you have the Two of Wands, right? And again, we see the earth image replicated here. So there's some questions, I would say also, what are we doing to take care of our homes in the small sense, like in your direct home life, but also in the macro sense, how are we taking care of the planet? And this guy's still trying to make a decision, he's like, do I go forward? Do I do this? Do I want what's in my hand, or do I want the earth? And he has two things in his hands too. He's got the ball right there and the stick. So this is very much your energy and what you're weighing up right now. And so my advice would be to seek counsel, because these are two figures that are very much alone, and you will end up taking those footsteps, just like this one, taking those footsteps into the future alone. But where you go and how you navigate the mountain and what's ahead of you can be made much easier if you seek counsel, if you seek partnership, if you allow other authorities to guide you. They have Sherpas that take you up the mountain, because if you went by yourself, you wouldn't make it. They know the terrain. So what it's asking here, and also I think is part of that full moon that's happening right in Leo, while Mercury and Neptune are conjoined, is you don't have to do everything by yourself, that you are going to find wise counsel in someone else this week. You would be encouraged to listen to it, or maybe you've already received that wisdom and you haven't paid attention to it. But the question is that where you seek guidance and where you seek assistance will grow. It will be the beginning steps to something that will grow into something much more, into a path that can take you into the future. And as you can see here, it's like here he's facing that way, here he's in the middle, and there he's moving forward. So at some point there's something that's going to end, and you're going to move on to a different path here. Which path you choose will be best helped by listening to the advice of people that you respect, considering the impact of your actions, and paying attention to what it is that it can grow into. So what are you going to birth? Is it a new relationship? Is it a new job? Is it a new baby? What are anything that you're reflecting on right now? The question is, what does this turn into in the future? Who can help me get to where I need to go? And what's the impact that it has on not only myself, but on the people around me? Okay, I hope that was helpful. Have a great week. Enjoy the beginning of the Aries energy. I know I will be. And I'll talk to you soon. I'll be doing a full moon reading for the full moon on the 20th.